Hi everybody, my name's Jessica Sheehan. I am the fourth generation owner and operator of Vitelli's Villa. I essentially stalked Mr. Fetterman's Facebook page to get this to happen, so.
That's not true! Thank you! I'm delighted with this.
And I'm so happy that he was finally caught wind of it all and was able to come here today. I really think that John Fetterman is one of us. Yes. You know, there's a great mix of people. I know right now we have some, I'm a working class lady. There's some city council people here. There's a district attorney here. There's a man that climbs Mount Kilimanjaro here. And through all walks of life, I think John is the one that kind of speaks to all of us. He, brought himself up through school, started teaching GED classes, got involved in politics because of gun violence. He wanted to make his town a better place. I wanted to make my town a better place, and I couldn't be more inspired by Mr. Fetterman. So with that, I'd like to welcome him to Vitelli's Villa, welcome him to Wilkes-Barre, Luzerne County, and I'll let him introduce himself.
Mayor would like to say, Mayor?
I'm so happy that you're here, and we have to get them up to Scranton before the election, okay? So all you Scranton, Lackawanna County people, don't let them leave without asking them to come up. We're stronger up there for you, John.
Thank you for opening up your beautiful restaurant, and I'm eyeing up that pizza. I'm eyeing it up. So, thank you for coming out. This is unbelievable. Oh my gosh! Wow. I don't know how big this crowd would have been if you knew Giselle wasn't going to be here, but I'll take it. And at least you got a chance to FaceTime. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out on a Saturday to talk politics. It's such an important race, right?
Yeah.
And it's I never thought I would be running for the United States Senate in Pennsylvania, and I could get a chance to actually use this as a flex, but I live in Pennsylvania. Living in Pennsylvania is a flex because the other side is lives here. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's optional. It's a feature, not a bug. But that's really the stakes here. You've got some really, really rich folks that live in different states, and they are attempting to not really campaign. They're just saying, how much name ID can I buy? Spending tens of millions of dollars on television, right? Yeah. You love those commercials, don't you? You never get tired of them. I know I don't. Gosh. So, but really, that's where we are. And can we just admit for right now, we're all going to miss Pat Toomey, though, right? Pat Toomey, an incredibly gifted politician. Figured out a way to be hated by Republicans and Democrats. We're really going to regret not being able to replace Pat Toomey with a Democrat. Do we have any Joe Manchin Democrats? And I mean that with no disrespect. No. We came from Lebanon County, and the first time ever, all campaign, we actually found one. Lebanon County, I guess that makes sense, but Lebanon County, Joe Manchin. If you are, and I know no disrespect to Senator Manchin, but if you are a Joe Manchin Democrat, if I make it to Washington, D.C., I will let you down, I promise. I will disappoint you. Why will I disappoint you? Because I believe our minimum wage of $7.25 an hour is a disgrace. Amen. We need to vote to increase it, whereas our caucus has not gotten there. Who Who thinks women's reproductive freedom is settled case law and it should always be? I know I do. I think that needs to be codified
Yes.
in legislation.
Yes.
Who has found healthcare kind of useful at times in their lives? Jeez, it's so useful. And that's why I believe it's a basic fundamental human right. The union way of life. Do we have any union members here? I know my doppelganger over there, union guy right there.
Doppelganger.
You know, oh, it was so proud to stand with the Scranton
I
teachers.
saw him.
You know.
Yeah.
Who believes that immigration makes America America?
Yeah.
We need a rational and comprehensive solution to it. I've always said this: if you score political points bullying or belittling gay and trans kids or adults, find a new line of work. Find a new line of work. Those are the things that we're running on. And those are the things that I would, where's that guy with the shirt? I wish I had it in my size. It says, get rid of the filibuster. Get rid of the filibuster. Right there. We were the first campaign to call for the elimination of the filibuster. Why? Why get rid of the filibuster? Some folks were like, John, that's dangerous. The Republicans could do all kinds of bad things if we got rid of the filibuster. Do you honestly think they're going to keep the filibuster if the situation is reversed?
No.
Does anyone really think that's going to happen?
No, it'll be the
Never.
first thing that's
Never. They're going to do it.
Yep.
Civil War relic, get rid of it.
If we eliminate the filibuster, if you don't support eliminating the filibuster, that's your right, of course. But if you don't, you believe that there are 10 to 12 Republican senators of conscience that are going to cross the line and say, you know what, you were right about all those things all along. We're going to join you. We will join you. How many voted for Build Back Better? How many Republicans would have voted for Build Back Better? None. Isn't it galling when Republicans show up for your new broadband or your new infrastructure project and that they voted against, but they show up for the ribbon cutting? But to get rid of the filibuster means we are going to do what it takes to come together as Democrats. I believe Democrats need to vote together like Democrats. It's just that simple, you know?
We have to start back.
And if you believe as I do, if you trust me with your vote in May, you'll always have my vote in Washington, D.C. That's a promise. You will never pick up your phone. You'll never be like, wait, Fetterman doesn't support the minimum wage? I'm like, what? Never. That will never happen. That will never happen. Because I would never put my own political views or my own job security above doing what's right for this country. Never. If you're afraid of losing your job to vote, to be a decisive vote to increase the minimum wage, or codify women's reproductive freedom here in legislation, or passing the PRO Act or any one of those things, find a new line of work, you know? Why are you in it if you're not ready to have your career end voting for transformative legislation? I know I would be. You could say, my life touched tens of millions of people, whether it's healthcare, whether it's reproductive freedom, whether it's an expanded minimum wage. That's why I'm in this line of work, is to be that kind of change if necessary. And that's my promise to you. Who has donated to our campaign in this room? Now, I have some more promises to make. If you have donated to my campaign, not $1 you've trusted with our campaign will ever be weaponized against a fellow Democrat. Ever. If you wanted to tear up a Democrat, you could have just written a check to the RNC to do it. They're much better at it than I could ever be. Another promise to you is we will fight it out for every single vote in every single county, in every single community. And we're showing up and we're going everywhere to have that conversation. I don't care how red a county is. We just came from Lebanon. Lebanon's a hotbed of progressive activism, isn't it? Lebanon County
Russ Diamond.
Yeah, the home of Russ Diamond.
Baloney.
We just came from Lebanon County, but we had so many folks turn out, they had to move the party outside. We couldn't fit in the house, you know?
Yeah, outstanding.
And that's because we believe in the value of making sure we have this conversation in every single community, every single county across Pennsylvania. Because it's going to be a tough cycle, right?
Yes.
Just admit that? You know? Have you lost any friends or had strained friendships with your political views over the last year or two? Definitely, definitely. So it's going to be a tough cycle. And we believe you're going to need a new kind of map. And a new kind of map comes with a new kind of campaign. And I'm proud to say we have over 200,000 grassroots donors. Many of you are here right in the room. 200,000. Pop quiz. How many residents does Scranton have?
70,000.
70,000 or so, 74,000. You know? We have nearly 3 times the number of donors as Scranton folks have residents. That's how many we have. That's how many we have. In fact, if our donor family was a city in Pennsylvania, it would be our 3rd largest behind Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. You know?
That's right.
What does that mean when you have that many donors? It means we're in 90% of Pennsylvania zip codes. Think about that. 90% of Pennsylvania zip codes have donors, you know, our donors living in them. And when you are running a tough race like this, you're going to need to have every vote from every county that you possibly have. And that's the strength in our campaign. I'm proud to say that we're the only campaign, Republican or Democrat, that's running one statewide here in Pennsylvania. You know? After I won my primary in 2018, defeated the only Pennsylvanian in the history of our state to defeat an incumbent lieutenant governor, I joined Governor Wolf on the ticket, and we beat Scott Wagner by 852,000 votes. 852,000 votes. 850,000 votes. That was the most votes a governor, lieutenant governor campaign has ever received in the history of our Commonwealth. But what's even more curious about that victory was that just 2 years earlier, Donald Trump won Pennsylvania by 45,000 votes, right? 45,000. And then 2 years later, Joe Biden won Pennsylvania, allegedly, right? Won Pennsylvania by 80,000 votes. What does that mean in between that? It tells me that there are a lot of very thoughtful Pennsylvanians that believe in the kind of policies, the kind of places, the kind of people that our campaign really reached in that cycle. But it's going to be a tough race. You have to know that. And we're going to need every last one of you involved in this. Okay? There's so much riding on this seat. I can't promise you an absolute win, but I can promise you that we are going to go down trying to make sure that we can. And because we have built the most grassroots campaign of any challenger, you know, nationally right now, we can make that claim to be a new map for the kind of reality that we're facing as Democrats here in Pennsylvania. 90% of Pennsylvania zip codes, what does that mean? It means that we are now the most well-resourced campaign among challengers, Republican or Democrat, nationally. But guess what our average donation amount is?
$20.
$29. $29 bucks. $29 bucks. You know? Somebody said, John, I'm sorry, I donated to your campaign, but it was only $40. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you. That adds up quick. That adds up quick. Our campaign raised $16 million. $16 million. Not by $2,900 checks, but by $29 checks. And I wouldn't have it any other way. You know? I am bought and paid for by you. The people. Okay? I will never put my back on that commitment. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Having that kind of donor base has given us, we are the only campaign that has been up on television in every market, broadcast and cable, since early March. Have you seen our commercials? And we will be up for the remainder of the primary. And it's also given us a commanding lead in the polls.
Yes, it has.
Both in the Democratic side, but in the theoretical matchups, we beat the Republicans as well too.